Everybody knows that
song.
part of the
Nettles.
song.
I love that song. Doesn't that put you in a good mood?
It does.
Yeah, I just like the choice of, instead of lyrics, just making noises.
Like that. All right. Welcome back to America's Got No Talent.
I know, right?
All right, it's 7:33 here in New York City. Let's go out to Colorado. Michelle Malkin is the host of Michelle Malkin Investigates on CRTV. Good morning to you, Michelle.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not going to do my falsetto for you.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
We'll call on Fergie for that.
That's right. You know, every Democrat in the House of Representatives voted against the middle-class tax cut, which puts them in a pickle because it's becoming very popular. A majority of Americans like it. So Nancy Pelosi, who heads up the party in the House, she's in a jam. How does she badmouth something people like? Here's what she said yesterday down in Texas at a town hall.
If what you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future, you're doing a grave disservice to our country. Some patriots.
So
Right.
Is it patriotic?
You know, I guess that Nancy Pelosi's copy of the Declaration of Independence says that we have an unalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of higher taxes. I mean, the crumbs comment, I didn't think that she could do any worse than that, and now she's doubled down. I think it's also interesting that the class warfare card, which has been so worn and torn, is still the only thing that these Democrat leaders have left to cling so bitterly to. It was wonderful because in this town hall, somebody objecting to her inveighing against inordinate wealth asked her about her own net worth, and there she was, Marie Antoinette Pelosi, saying, "We cannot discuss that." Silence.
Meanwhile, her husband's worth $100 million. And the reason that heckler stood up and asked her that question is she said, I don't think God intends for some to be wealthy and some to live in poverty. And the person stands up and says, how much is your net worth? Are you living in poverty? You know, share the wealth kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. This is a Beltway Barnacle who has parlayed all of her years as an entrenched incumbent into a massive amount of personal wealth. And so for her to be denigrating average, ordinary Americans, and as you pointed out, Steve, the tax cuts now have a majority of support among Americans. I love it. Keep doing it. Apparently, this is part of a 100-city tour. I can't wait for the next soundbite from Nancy Pelosi.
Hey, Michelle, one of the most underreported stories nationally is a major story locally is the homeless situation in Los Angeles and San Francisco. It is so out of control. Believe it or not, some people are choosing to be homeless, popping up tents and just resigning from society. And now in San Francisco, it's a mess, and you have a lot of these sanctuary cities that are thriving and in a warm embrace from these politicians, but it's destroying the lives of the people.
Yes, it's a dirt open secret, and it has been for several years now, that San Francisco has literally gone to crap. And it is a sanctuary not only for criminal aliens, as many of us have been reporting for years, but a sanctuary for vagrants and drug users and other violent criminals who have taken over. And so you look at the disparity between the rhetoric of San Francisco as this proud liberal haven, and then you look at the actual degradation of the quality of life. You look at the massive cost of living that's involved in order to be able to live in a postage stamp size apartment. And this is Nancy Pelosi's. This is her backyard. This is what San Francisco values are, and I'm glad more people are seeing it.
Let's stay in California because the senator there, Kamala Harris, she said that she was sad that illegals are not applying, not as many are applying for federal school aid. Here's the tweet that she sent out. She said, for a second year in a row, fewer undocumented youth applied for financial aid in California because they are distrustful of our government. This is a direct product of Trump's anti-immigrant agenda. No one in America should ever have to live in fear of our government. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so you can draw a direct line between Nancy Pelosi's attack on Americans who want more of their own money and to be able to keep it as unpatriotic, to Kamala Harris, this radical leftist who is now seen as the future of the Democrat Party, a future that involves crap all over the streets of San Francisco and money redirected from American citizens and law-abiding citizens of this country to illegal aliens. California spends upwards of $23 to $25 billion on illegal alien services, and they will not stop until the country is until their state and our country is completely run into the ground.
All right. Meanwhile, one final topic. Nikki Haley had some comments toward a Palestinian official who essentially told her to be quiet. She said this from her perch at the United Nations.
We welcome you as the leader of the Palestinian people here today. But I will decline the advice I was recently given by your top negotiator, Saeb Erekat. I will not shut up. Rather, I will respectfully speak some hard truths.
A lot of people really like her approach to being the ambassador at the United Nations for the United States.
I do, and I cannot tell you how many times I've found myself saying, "Amen, sister." I think that we have President Trump to thank for putting a strong woman in this very important position to talk loudly, and I hope that she continues to do so. And I think it's especially important when you are dealing with men in the Middle East who are involved in enabling jihad and subjugating women. Where are all the feminists to cheer Nikki Haley on? Well, I'm up front there clapping loudly for her.
And here's the thing, Michelle, she has managed with the Trump administration to have her own way, yet stay with President Trump's agenda. It's still her, but you never see the president have to rebuke or rein her in like he has the Secretary of State or General McMaster over the weekend, and yet she's had such an important job.
Yes, I think the term is self-actualized. I think that Nikki Haley has become self-actualized, and again, it is a tribute to President Trump to have had the wisdom to put her in that place.
She's doing well. All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Have a great
Thanks,
week.
Michelle. All right, let's hand it over to Jillian, who has some headlines for us. Hey.
That's right. Good morning. Let's get you caught up on some of your other news of the day, starting with this. Parents who appeared on Dr. Phil begging for the return of their missing 13-year-old daughter, well, now they're charged with her murder.
I do not fear anything's happened to Erica.
Erica is fine. I don't have a doubt in my mind.
Erica Parsons vanished in 2011 but wasn't reported missing until 2 years later by her brother. Authorities now indicting her adoptive parents, Sandy and Casey Parsons, for murder. Her father reportedly leading police to her remains in South Carolina in 2016. The Parsons are already serving time for tax fraud. A chilling new Netflix series explores a very dark question.
Can social compliance be used to make someone push a living, breathing human being to their death? Welcome to The Push.
Whoa. The Push puts an unsuspecting man in the middle of a massive hidden camera scenario. More than 70 actors try to convince him he has no choice but to kill. Netflix says it shows a terrifying truth that our natural instinct is to obey without question. The musket must go. A California Historical Society is biting the bullet, canceling a Revolutionary War reenactment because park officials want them to use sticks instead of guns. The event was in the works for 9 months until the officials enforced a rule saying no guns can be fired inside the park they want to use.
Can you see 12 men in full regalia and another 12 charging with wooden sticks saying bang, bang? It just doesn't have the same effect.
The group is planning on having the rules changed for next year. Let's look at your headlines, guys.
Ridiculous thing. Have you ever heard of problems at a reenactment event?
No.
It's not a reenactment. It's a recreation.
You're
You're
right.
starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right.
Well, I don't know. What do you mean the difference?
Rather than use a gun, as he did back in the olden days, they're going to use a stick.
That's it.
Bang, bang.
It's outrageous. It's
right.
another war on history.
All right, coming up, Senator Elizabeth Warren is the left's poster child for 2020, but did she make a huge mistake that could hurt her chances? Our next guest says, yes, she's having a bad week.
Yep. Plus, Dana Lash, former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci are here, and they're coming up. They're going to talk about separate topics.